I read that you studied up on your electrophysiology, if I'm pronouncing it correct.
Electrophysiology,
Yeah.
yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Oh, God, you're asking me. That's a very difficult question to
Very
start off with.
elaborate.
Well, I mean, yeah, I did have to read up on electrophysiology because nobody really knows what that is. I mean, it has to do with the heart and the mechanics of the human body and all of that stuff, and I won't bore you with the details of it, but yeah, I definitely had to wrap my head around that aspect of it. That was more technical for me, and then there's always the more emotional sort of stuff that you get into with any sort of character.
Does it help, to do that kind of research to kind of get into the head of a character who's like a scientist? Or?
I mean, yeah, definitely, and generally speaking, I mean, it definitely informed the start of her journey, because she is that scientific, more analytical type of person. So when she does meet the creature of Frankenstein, to begin with, she sees it as a scientific object to be studied, as an it. And she does have that evolution eventually where she realizes that this is not what she thought it was, and this is a being with the potential to become someone like a he, someone with a heart and a soul.
Are you a fan in general of these types of movies, horror, action, fantasy type things?
I used to be a huge fan of horror. I used to go to the cinema a lot with a particular friend of mine, and we would have to go and see every single horror movie until I got so freaked out. The last horror movie I watched, I think, was Paranormal Activity.
Oh.
And I never went back to see another horror movie because I just get too freaked out now. I don't know what it is, but this is definitely an amazing thing to be a part of. It's definitely sort of a larger scale thing that is new to me, and I'm excited to have it be part of my body of work, or where I come from.
A character like this and the one you played in Chuck, they're a little more just smart, they're worldly characters. Do you have more fun with that, or say like the character you played on Dexter, who's a little more unhinged?
They're all different. I see this character was, as much as this is not a realistic movie in the sense that we have these fantastical elements of gargoyles and demons, I do see Tara as being maybe the most realistic character out of the three, because Hannah, in terms of relating to the character, in terms of motivations and intentions and abilities. Sarah Walker was this CIA agent in these crazy, comical, extraordinary circumstances that it's kind of like a comic book show, and then we have Dexter, where we see serial killers getting away with it, and
you can't relate.
And that's not something I can relate because I haven't killed anyone. We hope I haven't. So yeah, I think Tara is definitely one that I can relate to the most out of them.
I mentioned to Aaron that in the next one he definitely needs a bride of Frankenstein. Do you think you'd be up for that?
I mean, you never know where they're going to go with it. Maybe a Franken baby and a Franken doggy and a Franken car.
Whole franchise, yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.